And we are live. I got to get my little banners up here so people can see them and know when to sign up. Hey, everybody, Doug Rucker here with Doug Rucker School and Doug Rucker Store, and Jeffrey Blackman with.
Oh, Mr. Shine Power watching the stripe. I apologize, Dick. I'm trying to share it on my page too.
Oh, are you good?
Yeah, see, look.
Gotcha. Um, Yeah, so we just want to give a couple little updates for Atlanta. Big thing is we want to make sure that everybody that is saying here on YouTube and have messaged myself as well as Jeff, can't wait to see in Atlanta that they're coming, all of that. You need to get signed up and registered pretty quick so that you can pay for the classes that you're planning to attend. The first day is, of course, the hands-on training. That's where I'm going to be teaching roof cleaning, building washing, concrete cleaning, property protection. We're actually going to be cleaning a church, pretty dirty church, so you're going to get a lot of good hands-on training and teaching for that. And then on the next day, Jeff has his striping course, parking lot striping course. That's both out in classroom training as well as outside of the parking lot. You're going to be able to use the machines, and the parking lot was actually just striped about a year ago. So you're going to be able to spray water, which will work just great for you to be able to see and just get a good feel for the machines and how you lay down the stripes. And he and Peyton will both be there teaching that part of it. And kind of overseeing you on the equipment so that you know how to use it. And then, of course, the 22nd is the Difference Makers Business Conference. And Jeff, one of the reasons I want people to get signed up that say they're coming, if they're going to come, is I'm putting together a packet, a folder packet that will have all the service descriptions that I
Wow.
use for my quotes for like house washing, um, roof cleaning, concrete cleaning. I call it hardscape cleaning. Uh, all the cover your Heine end documents and things that I use, things that to protect us and all of that kind of stuff. We'll have that pricing guide, that they'll actually be able to do with Kelsey, but I'm also bringing extra copies so that they can do that with Kelsey and also have them in that little folder. And just a lot of other content in there that's going to help them.
Wow.
Uh, we need to know before we leave next Tuesday for Atlanta. Try to have a good idea of how many people that are saying that they're coming are coming, because if we're short on those packets, then they're not going to have one, and they'll have to wait till we can mail them one when we get back. So,
Right.
um, but anyway, yeah, the Difference Makers Conference, that's on Saturday. Um, Jeff's going to be talk a little bit about what you're going to talk about. You're creating the vision, the different revenue streams. Um, Talk about those two things especially.
Uh, I'm excited most of all, Doug, to talk about vision because, as you and I always talk about, a business always starts with what? With a vision. With a vision, and you have to, in order to know where you're going, you have to visualize seeing yourself at the end. And also I've been studying, because I said, I didn't want to give no warm over soup. So I've been studying and adding some things to the vision because what good is to have a vision and you don't have a plan of action.
Right.
And I want to talk about a little bit about how to put a plan of action together, a strategy together to show you how to make that vision come to pass. And
Right.
I've been talking about that, about persevering, about being patient, because with the vision, things don't happen overnight. The world wasn't made in one day, so
Right.
you can't build a vision. Vision is not going to come in one day. So I mean, it's going to be some disappointments. There's going to be some hardships. There's going to be some things that that you figure that you can't do. But I want to share with you what I've done over the years when I see times get hard, when it seems like that there's no way, I'm always reminding myself to go back to what held me accountable was my vision board. And I look
Sure.
at that to hold me accountable to say, hey, this is what I had to do, cross X, Y, Z, Z, D, to do this here. Now I motivate myself back up and get back in the race. And
Right.
so that's some of the things I want to share, and also too, about when we're talking about different streams of revenue, I want to talk about the different streams of revenue that I'm creating through my business. Through my business, some of the things I'm investing in for as real estate, have hair salon, clothing line, and different things of that nature. Those were developed through power washing, and I'm excited to share with others about what what I have been able to accomplish over the years through multiple streams of income. Because Doug, a few years ago, what 2019, we were all devastated by COVID, and a lot of people, businesses closed down, they went under. But one of the things that helped my wife and myself was that we had multiple streams of income, so we were able to survive during those tough times until power washing or whatever they called it. Was it a essential business or non-essential business? So just little things like that to say that hardships are going to come, but the thing is that I want to help you get prepared for when they do come.
Right. Right. Exactly. And, one of my favorite things that we do is having Kelsey, the CPA, come in, and she's going to be Zooming with us. We did that last time in Cocoa and it went great. And she really talks a lot about the money matters, the money end of your business, and making sure that you're set up properly. And she has a great presentation on that, all from how you should set up your company, the different ways that you can do that, going over balance sheets, showing you profit and loss statements, things of that nature. And then she also does the pricing guide that we did kind of built together, her and I, and she'll take you line by line and go through with you through the attendees with them, showing them a great way to be able to set the pricing for the jobs that you're doing. And it's also not only setting your pricing, but it's kind of like a little budget as well. And you'll be able to, it's the type of form that you'll be able to go and adjust that 6 months from now, a year from now, a year and a half, so that you can continually stay on it, stay on top of it, and do two things. One, make sure your business is staying profitable and sustainable. And number two, make it so that you don't ever have to ask somebody else, what should I charge for this? Because that's just ludicrous. If you're going into this business, you've got to know what you're going to charge. And that's based off the expenses of your business and what it's going to take to pay you so that you can make money and still make the business profitable. So that's always a great thing. And then you and I are going to talk a little bit about commercial clients. Talk about that a little bit, Jeff.
Right. Doug, also I wanted to touch on and piggyback on what you were saying about Kelsey. One of the things I love that she talks about too is when she talks, showing about the P&L statements, and a lot of times people don't understand how to read that P&L statement. It's kind of like a level. I like to use analogies. It's kind of like using a level, to get something level. And the main object of it is to do what? To keep the bubble in the middle. So that's one of the things that I like that she teaches about that P&L statement, teaching, how can you manage what's going out if you can't manage what's coming in? And she's so good about that. But yeah, on the commercial sales, it's just a little tip that we like to give tips. And for the last couple of weeks, I find myself being real busy, Doug. And one of the tips that I said I was going to do is that I noticed in a lot of my shopping malls, there's been a lot of homeless people sleeping in the homeless areas. I mean, sleeping on the properties. So what I did is I went back in, I negotiated some of my contracts. I had quarterly contracts where it went from a quarterly contracts to now I started to offering spot cleaning. And so now they're doing it on a monthly basis to where I'm going in, getting those high traffic areas on my shopping centers and in those areas where the homeless are, leaving or urinating and doing all kind of stuff.
Right,
So
right,
I'm able to go in, not only offer that, but I can advance my price and upsell by selling what is called a disinfectant in those areas as well. So those are
right.
some of the things we want to share with you in in commercial sales. That it's not about having a lot of clients, it's about having the right clients.
Exactly. And it's about targeting the ones that you want to have in your portfolio, so to speak, the clients that you want. And, it's all about building those relationships with those customers. And we're going to talk about how you do that from, initial targeting them to building the relationship and how to stay on top of that and get on their list so that you can get requests for bids and ultimately become like you are and like I am for a lot of our property managers, the only guy that they ever call, the only
Right.
guy that they trust, the guy that they can always depend on and know that you have their best interest at heart and looking out for them. It's not always about just charging as much as you can, but going back, and the commercial is a big part about what we talked about earlier about building residual income through pressure washing, is doing like you're doing, having those maintenance accounts that you repeat and repeat and repeat.
Right. So Doug, that's one of the things that I love about then with commercial sales, I'm learning more as I go day to day basis now. That I used to go in with marketing strategies. I would take flowers, I would take candy, I would take basketball things or tickets or season tickets and things of those next to my high end clients. But now I'm finding out that the more that I communicate with my property managers or my clients, that it doesn't take a lot of some of those things. I'm not against that, but I'm learning now is that you can create that extra revenue and generate that relationship through reaching out, just call and say, hey, I was just calling to check and just say it was a friendly reminder of something. Or if I'm out on the property, I see, like I'm saying, the homeless, I share that with them, and that generated me an extra $30,000 a year
Yeah,
just by having that conversation. And it wasn't a hard marketing tip. It was just that I was showing them that I had their best interest at heart, and I was concerned about not only just their property, but I'm concerned about my work as well.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many things that we're going to talk about that will help you, set yourself apart from a lot of other companies that will help you to gain their trust and gain their business and get them to rely to where they rely on you because face it, we're relying on them. So we've got to show those things that we're going to talk about that will help those property managers. Uh, Basically, it's just like any type of business to me, residential, commercial, whatever. Your job is to make it as easy on them as possible.
Right.
You're not there to cause them more work or cause them more headache. You want to be the people that they know when they send you out there, it's going to be taken care of.
Right. And basically what you're saying, Doug, that we have to, as a business, we have to become their eyes and their ears, because a lot of property managers, they don't visit these properties every day.
Correct.
If you out there, you in that area doing a follow up, go by, just call that follow up call. One of the things we do after we do it, we send the pictures in, but we also follow up with saying that, how do you rate us? What could we do to improve our business to make things better, as a company? Because it's not always, feeling like that somebody told you that this wasn't. No, it's not. Don't take it as they criticizing you. Take it as that they're trying to help you become a better company. For when you do go with that next property, you will have that under the radar saying, hey, this is what they were looking at. So let me stay on top of it with this property manager. That way I can develop a more sharper and a long-term relationship with that property manager.
Right. Exactly. There's so many different ways. Everybody's always wanting to get into commercial. We're even going to talk some about how to make that initial contact, how to find out who that PM is, all kinds of different things. So, and it'll be fun because you've got some different things that you do. I've got some different things that I do. And so, you know, we don't both do the same things, but there's a lot of the things that we do replicate.
Right.
And so they'll be able to get a lot of knowledge from two people that have done it and are doing it. So that'll be awesome.
Right. I'm just excited, Doug, man. I'm gonna say I encourage you guys, you know, we're coming to Atlanta. Like Doug said, get online, register. Don't wait till the last minute because we're days away from this here. You know, get the package together and get online, register. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a phenomenal conference. It's way different than what you see me and Doug talking about here online. It's going to be one thing when you get in the front of us. And I'll tell you something. When you leave this conference on day 3, and I do a speech called Never Give Up. And I want to, you know, share with you some of the things that in my business when I was at the point of giving up, you know, how guys like Doug, Kadero Thompson, Von Cross, and a few more guys came in after the death of my son, you know, and man, I didn't want to work for a whole year, you know, and these guys came in and encouraged me and taught me how to really just keep believing in the middle of adversities. And in business, I wish I can tell you that you're not going to face adversities, but you need to know how not to give up when those adversities come knocking at your door.
Exactly. That's exactly. And it's a very, very motivational thing that you talk about and what you've been through. I don't want to give any of it away.
Right.
Everybody needs to hear it. And quite a few people have. But I also want to suggest to anybody that's thinking on the fence, and if you want to hear from some people that have attended the last 3 or 4 YouTube lives that we've done, we had Eric on 1 week, we had Carlos on 1 week, and Ricardo. And Ricardo's been to every single Difference Makers conference. He's online video student of mine, online school, and he's also done the hands-on training. But those Carlos has been to the Difference Makers. He's been to the hands-on. And then Eric attended in Cocoa, and I think he's planning to come to Atlanta as well. So go back and listen to those. That'll give you 3 guys that have attended these events that we do, and you'll be able to see how much it's changed their life. And hopefully we can get Eric on maybe next week before I leave Tuesday morning early. And I think you come in Wednesday to Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I come in Wednesday morning.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, guys, get registered. Go to pressurewashingschool.com/events. You guys that are out there that are texting us, calling us, emailing us, posting on YouTube that you're coming, we need you to get registered and get signed up so we know how many people are coming so we can bring all the materials we need for everybody. Jeffrey, take us out of here, man.
Hey guys, looking forward to seeing y'all in Atlanta next week. Be there. Like my brother Dean like to say, when you leave there, you're going to be ready to slap a bear.
That's right. Y'all have a blessed evening. Thanks, Jeff.
All right, Doug. See you.
Yep.